Alright, I got to 49% from almost zero. Yeah, I was at 1%. I was at 1%, so I had enough in the laptop to reach 100, but it's not necessary. I'm gonna go wash the rack and go to my desk. Mucho dinero for gas. My shoulder's killing me, like. My shoulder really hurts from this because I'm really wearing a shirt. It's ragged. The rag. That's a lot of water, man. It's like fucking a gallon every 10 seconds. Goddamn. At least. That's a lot of water, man. Cold tonight, for sure. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to sleep in. Everything has COVID in it. Like, I got a donut from one lady. Had COVID a little bit. We got, what else we got that had COVID? Stuff from the church people. Also had a little bit of COVID. A lot of COVID today. Some phones, some newer phones, they come preloaded with 12. There's no 11. So, like I said, it seems like this blanking of the SIM is an exploit in 12 that they are using. Some of these newer phones, you cannot put 11 on them. They didn't come out with 11. They didn't come out with 10. That's why, like I said, that S20 Ultra, you can use all three. You can use all three OSs. Some phones that are new only come with 12, and it has that exploit to delete your SIM, which is what they're after. Yeah? They're after everybody's accounts, everybody's phone stuff. That's why the firmware is fake. And that's what they're after. They're after social media accounts. Before you know it, everybody's fucking brown, yeah? Or Asian, one of the two. Yeah, that's what they're after. That's why they're doing that. Yeah? That's why they put that exploit in there to delete your SIM, because they're after everybody's social media accounts, and they got social media in their back pocket. They're gonna ask the fucking Marxist admins to take it off, take off two-step, and before you know it, they're gonna go into your accounts and they're gonna own them. Yeah, and they're gonna replace, they're gonna replace everybody with some of their non-racist friends because they got your social media accounts. Yeah, that's what they're after. Yeah, that's what they're doing there. That's the only reason why you want to blank out a SIM. There's no other reason to blank out a SIM unless you plan on stealing the accounts. Yeah, that's why they're hacking everybody's phone. Yeah, they're doing that on every phone. Every phone does it. Yeah. No secret now. The secret is out. The secret is out. That's the reason why they're doing it. There's no other reason to do it. Why the hell do you think they're doing that? They're hacking everybody's phones. They're blanking out SIMs. They're obviously they got social media in their back pocket. Why do you think they do it? For what purpose other than the training program? What I tell you about the framing program. It's the currency of the world. I told you, it's the currency of the world. And that's the reason why they do that. There's no other reason to do that. Oh, shit. Before you know it, everybody's Asian or black, because those people are anti-racist according to this group that's stealing stuff. White people can only be are the only ones that can be racist, so they're going to replace you with someone who's not racist. It's going to be one of their brown friends or Asian friends. That's the reason why they're blanking out SIMs, hacking phones. They're in control of all the social media accounts, all the banks, etc., 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 because their friends are non-racist, and the only people that can be racist is white people. So white people must be replaced with someone who's brown or Asian. There's no other reason why, to do that other than to replace what they say is racist with some of their friends that are quote-unquote not racist. Yeah. Before you know it, everybody's brown or Asian, which is what they've been doing. You know, that's the goal, obviously. You can tell from those gifts. Like I said, sometimes they scare me when I make them. Fuck it. You know, sometimes they scare me when I make those gifts. Which way you're supposed to go? So what is going to happen here? What's going to happen here is that white people will piss off, and the bright fuck will be in here by himself pretending to be white, and then his face and the face of his friends, the faces of his friends will end up in Tokyo Square on a nice projector. That's what's going to happen, and then the world will start, and they're all going to be fucked anyway. You understand? That's where the greed of this brave fuck is going to lead. It's going to lead to white people pissing off again, and then his face and the faces of his fucking friends are going to end up in Tokyo Square in Japan. That's what's going to happen. And then the war will start. Another war that they started by stealing that bag. What a surprise. You understand? I can play this game too. You know, I can play the game as well. I can play it from afar. I can play it from afar. I don't need to be in Europe or North America or Australia or New Zealand. I can play this game from afar and do just as much damage as they do to white people. Tenfold. Holy fuck. We're doing a civil war.
Vai di nuovo no, lo vuoi? Yeah, please. I have a pocket. I have a back pocket. It's a monkey. Go.
Пипо позаплачава чудо. Микстура между няколко идиотчета. Пипо позаплачва. Тук е стрит. Мада стрит Пипо. Стрит Пипо позаплачва. Още се топи в подпиране, аз можеше да други хора само.
А ти виж го?
Стрит Пипо позаплачва. Шпионца королевна. Стрит Пипо.
На съседната улица е човек. Виждате?
Да, е Стрит Пипо. Този човек, щом дойде в Лондон, от супер бързите педали, да оправя този сантимент.
Значи едно нещо важно е да се става да бъде транспорт.
Hulks will not replace us.
These girls around here all fucking laughing. Shit really bad. Missing files on the .11. Like I said, that's that stuff that keeps getting deleted that I download. It's the fifth time this happened. It's fucking cold. But not too bad. No. Like I said, it's not even an area where they have clubs and stuff. The area right there, they don't even have a bar. The exception of the bar that's across from it that closes. And they're out there fucking around and outside all night long. They're laughing and talking. And, oh, fuck, it's cool. Try to buy a USB board for the 850, and it's not in stock. they don't have one for the A52 either. So there's no USB boards in stock that I can ship to a locker for the A50 or A52. Yeah. I found an S20 Plus board, which is sort of compatible. Maybe I can use it to flash the A50 if you know, if it connects to the main connector, the main ribbon cable there on the phone, because the main connector is separate from the screen. So you have three connectors on that board: the fingerprint, the main connector, and then the display screen. Some boards have the display connector, some of them don't, because it's on the screen. But I couldn't find a single one with the exception of an S20 Ultra board, which is not very compatible. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could fit it in there. It doesn't even have a headphone jack because they removed it. And unless I want to have a giant open hole in the phone without a headphone jack, so I couldn't really find anything compatible with the A50. And I couldn't even buy one for the A52 because, you know, it looked like the A52 might be compatible and I can use a board from the A52 or even the S20, even though it doesn't have a headphone jack, to flash the A50. Because like I said, that board is dead, partly dead. It doesn't, you know, there's no data connection, there's no USB debugging that I can do. Oh, fuck. So instead, I got me an HP cable to connect that 10,000 RPM 2.5 inch hard drive I have, because there is a provision on the laptop to connect the hard drive, another hard drive, a secondary. So I got one to try and connect that second drive, and I got another USB cable, a meter, and that was all the money. So that was all the money that brothers anyway. I had to get that HP. I mean, it's any laptop. It's a 10-pin ribbon cable, 088 to 10-pin. And I got that to see what is left on that hard drive, because I used to use that hard drive in America to work on my WordPress report. That's what I used to work on that report. And I used it to store all the videos that I got in Georgia walking around on the hard drive. And I used to put my bit sheet. Yeah, what's making me shit, the stuff from Notre Dame was decent. Yeah, very good, actually. Very, the stuff from the Notre Dame was very excelente, yeah, but the stuff that I ate after from the Strand, the church people, was not so good. I ate some poison when I went to the box. Yeah, it's, I still got COVID in my throat. So, I ate a lot of crap after. It's my fault, you know what? You know, if you know it's gonna be poison, why the hell are you eating it? So it's that's it. It's you know, 9/11 is a very impulsive and it's not very random, but it is an impulsive type of event, meaning that it's, there's, and you know who's impulsive. It's this Soviet Sauron and his crew with the bag that are the most impulsive assholes on the planet. And that's who did 9/11, understand? There's something impulsive about 9/11, isn't it? It has an impulsive aspect to it. Yeah? And who's impulsive? The crew with the bag, yeah? The crew with the bag who pursed themselves up in government and other places, pretty much everywhere according to those gifts, that became numerous enough to do 9/11, lie about it, get the entire media, print, news, whatever, to lie about it, and then eventually steal it back. Understand? It's 9/11 has an impulsive aspect. Now, there's only a couple of people that could do 9/11, and it had to be someone that had managerial credentials going back, obviously, a long time. And Roger Ailes, Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch is Jacob Rothschild. Roger Ailes is Churchill and Alfred Hitchcock, who did movie props in Berlin with shrunken heads and lampshades made of skin. So it's the same familiar faces, right? You got to have a certain level of managerial seniority to do 9/11. You got to be a senior manager to do 9/11, and that's that's who's involved with the back. There's no one else, guy. There's no one else that has enough managerial credentials, that's numerous enough, that's a senior level manager enough to do 9/11. Understand? Roger Ailes, Churchill, Alfred Hitchcock, over here. Rupert Murdoch over here as well. The guy is allegedly Australian. Rupert Murdoch is Jacob Rothschild, and the Richter boys from World War II. The Richter boys from World War II is pretty much Rupert Murdoch, yeah? Like I showed you guys. Yeah? It's the impulsive crew who did not, 9/11 is an impulsive attack. Just like the bag. It's overly impulsive. You can tell, right? You can definitely tell, right? What is this? They left me some peanuts. Shit, my face is frozen. It's definitely an impulsive attack. Still on 8%. Alright, so tethering. Now you gotta go from 0 to 1 to get it to turn off, I guess. I don't know. And I lost a lot of time, stuck at 51% last night. And it wasn't charging no matter what I was doing. So you gotta switch connectivity from 1 to 0. From 0 to 1. So that's what I did. Switched out the connectivity service commands from 0 to 1. Seems to be holding battery, seems to be charging. Anyway, like I said, I couldn't find an A50 board to ship to a locker because it's not in stock. I could not find an A52 board to ship to a locker because it's not in stock. And I could only find an S20 Plus board, which is more or less compatible. It's got a different fingerprint sensor, and the main connector might be the same. Like I said, the A50 and the A52, they have the display connector separate from the charging board. Some of them have their own charging board. Technically, you could use an S20 Plus board, but it doesn't have a headphone jack. I don't know. It might fit. It's obviously smaller. It might fit in the A50. It might fit in the A52, but you're not going to have a headphone jack. If you have a headphone jack on the phone, you can also, in my opinion, it should be used to charge the phone as well. Even though it's not a DC barrel, it's not a DC barrel connector, you could probably come up with something to make it charge from a headphone jack. If you have something sticking there that has power. I don't know. Seems like you should do that. But, I'm about to shit myself. 17%. I go to the station to see if it's open. I gotta take a crap right away. The 850 does charge, just not very fast. I mean, it's fast, you know, it's 18 watts, but like I said, it's not reversible. Yeah, let's go ahead and go down there. See if the station's up right there. It's probably closed, which means I might have to go across the bridge. I might have to go to the library later if it's open today. I think it is open on Sunday. Lucky me. Apparently 2 years of strikes was not enough. Like I said, it seems like they want to strike some more. There's no piece everywhere. Oh, shit. Fuck it. Is that the gallery is using the face service. Yeah, the gallery is using the face service. You can turn that off for the service call as well. Is this something? Holy fuck. Holy shit. And Waterloo has to be open because of the amount of traffic they brought in here yesterday. Amazing. Some kind of holiday. Some kind of holiday yesterday. The library, and they seem to have toilets at Leicester Square, so they're doing some kind of event. Well, they got barriers up again, and the station is closed. Holy shit! We gotta go over across the bridge. Looks like they're doing some kind of event again. This one will be closed for the rest of the week. Let's go across the bridge. They're doing some kind of event because they got the barriers up again. Apparently they got nowhere else to do events except in that square. Yeah, it looks like Waterloo is fine. So, holy fuck, it's a total fucking disaster out here. Big party. It's a party holiday weekend. McDonald's and beer everywhere. Drinks everywhere. Waterloo is open because without Waterloo you don't have a London. London's a big train station. You don't have that one. Even though I found that one closes well a couple of times. Yeah, this, like I said, they really like being disruptive. If it's COVID, apparently they are big fans of holidays, extended ones. You know, if you notice, 9/11, another major disruption. London bombing, another major disruption. If you notice, this crew is very gifted at being disruptive, because being disruptive is what saves their ass and gets them in trouble in World War II and World War I, and etc., etc., etc. Yeah? If you notice, this crew is very gifted at being disruptive. That's what they do. Yeah? That's what they're about. Oh, my eyes are watering. Yeah, it's some kind of holiday weekend. There's shit everywhere. There's shit everywhere, guys. Trash everywhere. God damn these fucking stairs. You see, the skyline over here is too open. Yeah. And remember, New York is a lot. Choosing New York for 9/11 has a lot to do with a closed skyline. Meaning that if you're in the city, in Manhattan, you cannot see any fucking planes. Over here, any high-rise, there's only a couple. Yeah, there's only a few high-rises here that you can see from here. It's an open skyline, so you can see any planes. But you see the skyline in New York, if you're in Manhattan, you can't see anything. So they can easily say, oh yeah, there was some jets, because the skyline is not visible from the city. Now, whereas here you can see everything in all directions. And you would be, obviously there would be a lot of witnesses that would say, we didn't see any jets. Yeah, because there wasn't any. So they used the high rises in New York as a cover to say that there was jets, because you couldn't see them. Yeah, because you couldn't see them. There wouldn't have been enough witnesses to say that there was any, or that there wasn't. Yeah. See, it's the perfect place to do something like that, because the skyline is open. You can see in every direction. There's no way to hide or unhide jets here, because you can see them. And they fly over all the time. Yeah, they fly overhead all the time going to Heathrow Airport. So you can see everything from all directions. So in New York, you cannot see anything. You can't see shit because there's so many high rises. See, it's the perfect place to say that you had jets, because nobody can see them. Yeah, nobody can see any jets. They just come in, all of a sudden, bam, 1 or 2 seconds. You see them for a split second. If you're in the immediate vicinity of the building, the World Trade Center, you can see them for a split second, but that's about it. Yeah. You might be able to see something from the Hudson River. Yeah, because you have more space to look outwards to the buildings. You see here, they could have done it here, but it would have been too many witnesses that would have said there wasn't any jets. Yeah. You understand? It's New York is the perfect place to hide invisible jets that don't exist. You see, it's the perfect cover to lie. New York is the perfect cover to lie about something that wasn't there. And leading up to 9/11, they did basement bombing. They said that somebody drove a fucking van with explosives in there and detonated the van near a column, a support column. Now, if you had Mayor Lansky running New York, if you had fake mob trials in New York, if you had Mayor Lansky running the Hudson Docks, if you had crypto Jewish presidents running your government, chances are that the Mayor Lansky mob over there in New York, along with the U.S. government, Mayor Lansky was working with the U.S. Navy, by the way, very unscrupulous character to be working with. Right? So, you can pretty much tell right away that if they were going to do something, it was going to be in the capital of the Jewish mob, which is New York. Mayor Lansky ran the place. They had numerous trials against mobsters in New York, real or fake, probably all fake, who knows. But it's pretty obvious. You had Larry, what was it, Larry Webb? No, Larry Summers, some fella, the Larry guy that owned the towers, also Jewish. You know, New York is a very, it's the Jewish mob capital of the world. It's not really Jerusalem, is it? Because they don't even want to go there. Why is it that Jewish criminals, mobsters from the mob, the Jewish mob in New York, don't want to go to Israel? They go there when they get expelled. I mean, you got some kind of problem with your homeland? You don't like it over there or something? It's not good enough for you? I mean, Mayor Lansky seemed to have liked it. He was sending money over there. Or something, I don't know, working with, what's her name? I forgot her name. But you see, for the most part, it's not Jerusalem that's the Jewish mobster capital of the world, it's New York. Jeffrey Epstein, yada yada, Mayor Lansky, yada yada, Giselle Maxwell, yada yada, etc., 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 on and on and on. So they had the Italian mob kind of coexisting with the Jewish mob because maybe the Italian mob was Catholic, maybe crypto-Jewish. You had the Sopranos that made it very popular over there. New Jersey made it very popular. See, the Jewish mob, Catholic mob of crypto-Jews running the place, and they did 9/11 there. Why wouldn't they? It's the perfect place. And now, it's not necessary to do any mob stuff, with the exception of this bag, which is very much a mob type of move. Impulsive, right? Like I said, just like 9/11. And these days, it's not really necessary to do any kind of Jewish mob type of stuff. Mostly because, they got plenty of money, they got everything under their control, it's not necessary to force anybody's hand. You can force a white guy's hand. Like I said, in the past, the mob, they used to force your hand if they wanted something, get you to move out of town, maybe change states or something, maybe, force you to give up your business, maybe they would buy your business, that kind of stuff. These days, it's not necessary, because everybody's dead. These days, it's not necessary to force anybody's hand using mob tactics, because everybody's dead. Everybody's a Jew or a Catholic. Everything is nice and pleasant. Because everybody's them and everybody's Jewish or Catholic. See, it's the idea that you can force somebody's hand by stealing a bag is a farce. You're not going to force anybody's hand by stealing a bag. You don't give a fuck what bag you have. I'll give you this one too, and we can start over if you want. It's the idea that you can force somebody's hand by stealing something tied to a police report is a farce. You got that twisted because, I have no idea in doing you any favors by you holding a bag. I have no interest in doing you any favors just because you stole a bag. Good luck with that. I'll give you this one too, and we can start over if you wish. But I'm feeling, I got the feeling that this crew has buyer's remorse, like I said. Because it's becoming a little bit too costly, I guess. Is it becoming a little bit too costly now? So you got buyer's remorse with that bag? If you are feeling ambitious, and I know you are, I'll give you this bag too, and we can start over. If you wanted that bag, it's got the same stuff in it that the other one did, more or less. If you're feeling ambitious, I can give you this one too, and we can start over. Like I said, they think they have buyer's remorse these days because they lost. It's a big loss. The secret is out. Everybody knows. Big problemo. Big problemo to have, and now they have buyer's remorse. Man, I want some milk or something. So, yeah, that looks very good. I'll buy that whole lot over there if I had the money. Let's go back and charge if I make it in time. Yeah, I was wondering how these drones came in yesterday because the Charing Cross is closed, so they have to use Waterloo to get in. And then there's the other points around the city where they don't have stations. It's just an entry or exit out of the subway. So they have to use Waterloo and King's Cross. Waterloo Underground Station. Yeah, that's a big... Anyway, I gotta see, I might just have to do it and open up this A52 and use the board from the A52 to, connect up the A50. It might not work. I'm actually afraid to plug it in. You know, even if I decide to take it out of the A52 and put it in the A50 to flash the A50, I'm kind of afraid to use that board in the A50. It might blank it out. For fucking no. It's that A50. Hasn't had an update in a while. If I plug in that board from the A52, is it going to blank it out like it did with it? You know, like I did the board on the power banks, and like I did the board on the A50. I don't know. No, that's a possibility as well. Plug it in there, and it plugs in. It's not the same number of pins and stuff, but it isn't going to blank it out. It's going to blank out the A52 board, and then I'm not going to have any fucking problem. Seems like his back was compatible. Now the HP laptop seems to be working and it's more or less compliant now. I'm getting 18 watts out of that USB-C port, which is what I expected, even though I was expecting 25 watts. I think the A90 was hitting 25 watts. I don't think it was. I think it was 18. So I'm very happy with the fact that I can get 18 watts from the laptop. It's good enough. It's good enough as maybe later on, closer to Christmas, I'll see what happens. Maybe I can get the A70 replaced up there at least. It's a cheap phone. But it's not that terrible. It's not that terrible of a spec sheet. So the A70 and that's what they stole the most: the A50, the A70, and the Note 10 Plus. And the Note 10 Plus is too expensive to replace. Interestingly enough, the motherboards for the Note 10 Plus 5G and the S10 Plus 5G, those are cheap. You can just buy the motherboard if you have the rest of the phone, like I do. All you have to do is plug it in. And you can plug in the you'll be able to plug in that Note 10 Plus 5G motherboard into the A70 and the A50 very likely. Just plug it in there, stick it in there. The camera array is not going to match, but it's actually possible to just buy a Note 10 Plus 5G motherboard, stick it in the A70 or the A50 even the A52 might fit it, with the exception of the back, which is not going to fit, even though you can make that fit by cutting out the top portion where the camera array is. You can come up with a back, that plastic back that has is pieced together from two pieces to make it fit in there, so it fits the camera array. I don't know, it might be possible. It might be possible to do that. Get an A50 board. I mean a Note 10 Plus 5G board and stick it in an A70 or something like that. It might actually work. Even the camera array matches on the A70, so it might work. The layout is the same. Is it possible to use a Note 10 Plus 5G motherboard on an A70? It might be. It might be. See what percentage you buy. 4%. Almost there, guys. Power this up with the 850. Put the wires in the back. Oh yeah, I got it in my pants. I forgot. I'm probably getting too old for this shit, you know? Got a wire in my pants. Put it in my pants because I know it's gonna need it to power the 852. Hey, you know, if you're Jewish, you know, if you're one of these Jewish mobsters pretending to be white, all you have to do, if you want to prolong your stay around here, is steal a bag. If you are kind of holiday, like I said. It looks like. Apparently there's no other square to do events at except here. Every fucking weekend. No any cheating fuck, huh? Yeah. That's good, yeah. Take it, yeah. We gotta light something on fire today. Let's light something on fire, huh? Maybe one of these trash cans to warm up in the winter time. That COVID shit is finally coming out of my throat. Hopefully we get some fucking decent food today. Wash it all down. some kind of vaporator, like it's got a battery in it, like a Darth Vader respirator. Yeah. It probably works, but probably needs a charge. Yeah, the J6 Plus that I bought in London from the Samsung store was shooting EMF in my hands. Understand? The battery, like I said, it's within the battery. That's what causes it. So. Like I said, the issue is that it's if we could just shut off just now. I think. Yeah. It's not supposed to. It's not really supposed to shut off because it was at 14% or something. 14% is gonna last a little bit. Fix this tear here in the bag that they did. I think it was probably Churchill that gouged this bag on the side here. So this side is okay, and this side here is what I repaired. So I found this lighter. It's got gas in it, and this polyester turns into melted plastic if you burn it, because it was fraying. It was all fraying up and coming loose everywhere. So I burned it up a little bit to melt it, and I was able to sew it back. I was able to sew it back up for now until they tear something else like a strap or they tear into this again. But it was Churchill that did this. I'm pretty sure it was one of the Churchills in the queue at the Strand to do this. Or maybe when they pulled the bag out, who knows? I think it was probably in the queue. When I was in the queue at the Strand, somebody did this. But it's very solid. One line here of thread, another line from the top, meets in the middle here. Both sides, knots, everything. Shouldn't come loose at all. Yeah. Knots, double string. So there's one line from the bottom, one line from the top, meets in the middle here where this big hole is. So it's solid now. It shouldn't tear again. Yeah. So it looks okay now, more or less. It looks okay now. This is a very good bag for 20 pounds. I think it was 15, 17 pounds. Excellent bag. Chinese bag too. Chinese people are coming through, man, with some good stuff, you know, for us homeless folks. 9-pound shoes as well. Can't complain, right? Anyway, the station is closed, so I don't know, I'm probably going to download this werewolf thing again, because it got erased somehow. And I'm going to download the werewolf thing again and watch it. I'm going to watch that and come back around 4. This was very useful, yeah. Keeping it for my homeless comrades. Holy fuck. What's the occasion? Yeah, so perfectly honest, I'm not even sure if there's enough room in this laptop for a second hard drive, because it's you still have to fit the fucking tether in there. I'm not sure. I gotta look at the pictures for that space on the laptop for the hard drive, but it doesn't matter. You can still connect it. Maybe outside the laptop, but I don't know if there's enough room inside because it's not provisioned for it. Sort of. The connectors on the motherboard, it should have enough space for a hard drive, because there's a model that has a second hard drive. That's why they put that in there. It should be enough space. Like I said, I need to find out what they did to the hard drive. Does it still work? Did they break it? Is it? Does it still have my stuff on it? Is it okay? Is it usable? 256 gigabytes is hard to miss. I'm gaining 256 gigabytes for 10 pounds. 256 gigabytes for 10 pounds is a good deal. It's cold. Holy fuck. It's cold. If I can get the hard drive hooked up in there, that's going to be a kick-ass laptop for 400 pounds. I don't have any regrets, though, for buying it. I don't really have any issue. Any regrets from making a purchase. That's some nice equipment there, man. Good fucking power brick. Power strip, yeah. I don't really actually have any complaints with the laptop. It was a good deal for 400 pounds at the time. 440 I think it was, something like that. 437 or I don't know, something like that. It was okay. Not bad. It's definitely been reliable despite everything that's been happening, despite them breaking the keyboard, etc., etc. It's been reliable. Okay, not bad for 440 pounds. If I can get that hard drive to go in it, and then double the storage, that makes it even better. I think that's the reason why I bought it, because it was 15.6 inches, and it had a second hard drive provisioned, he said. Because I looked online before I bought it, and I'm like, does it come with 2 hard drives? It looks like there's a model that does, and that's the reason why I bought the 15.6 inch one, because it had the capacity for 2 hard drives, an SSD and a solid and a serial 88. The SSD is more like RAM. SSD is basically like a memory stick. Yeah, so the serial 88. That's the reason. Yeah, I remember, because I was looking on the HP website to see if it had a second hard drive, and it did. There was an option for a second hard drive on the same laptop. So, like I said, if I can double the storage, it makes it, it makes 400 pounds seem worth it. So it's more worth it, considering the money that I paid. Get more storage. And all things considering, it wasn't a bad deal if I can get that tether to work with the hard drive. And it should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. I'll have 2 hard drives, double the storage, at 256 plus 128. It's not a bad deal. I think HP makes, like I said, you definitely, the reason why you go with HP over Acer or any Chinese brand, I don't like Dell, but HP has always had reliable service. Warranty work, I had some that I sent for warranty work a while back. They replaced the RAM modules for whatever reason. I had additional RAM in them, they replaced the RAM. They always have good support. It's one of those kind of forgotten Western brands that should have been the #1 brand over any other brand, including Dell, in my opinion. Better than Dell. It's not where it should be as a brand. I think it should, it's underrated as a brand. And I definitely wouldn't buy any Chinese laptop over any HP brand, any HP laptop. It's just, from my experience, it's got that valuable service. When you purchase a 2,000 pound laptop from HP, you got a service. Yeah, you get service. You feel like a customer who paid 2,000 pounds for a laptop. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference. And more or less, you don't really have a lot of trouble with the hardware. It's got very good solid hard, with the exception of this SSD that's in this laptop, which is questionable. I think it's faking the storage. What it does, I think, is the firmware. So basically, I'm moving files, and it tells me that it's out of space, even though it's not. I'm moving files to the laptop from something, and then, even though I know it's not full, yeah, it'll tell me that it runs out of space. It does this on any OS, any drivers, anything. It does this every time. It's the SSD. Yeah, it's the SSD. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's that's the reason why, with the exception of a single Dell laptop, I had an Acer laptop many years ago. That I don't know what I do with it. I think I kept it around in pieces. I kept it around in pieces. I had one Acer laptop, a Dell laptop. The rest of them were all HP. And I had many. I had many HP laptops. Many HP laptops, but one Acer, one Dell. And I wouldn't buy anything over HP, like I say. You get service. Now, when you spend 2,000 pounds with HP on a laptop, you get service. Yeah? You get service. You feel like a customer. You know? Yeah, if that hard drive still works. I haven't had I think I did power it. I had a serial ATA. I had a serial ATA USB dongle. I think I did power that hard drive up over here. I did, yeah? I think I did get into... What was I doing? Yeah, I think I did get into it one time. I don't remember what I did with the USB tether that I had. I don't leave it in Romania or what. It was a serial ATA. It was a serial ATA tether. That I had. I don't remember what I did. I know I powered it up over here. The browser was on it. I don't remember what I did with it. Anyway, so yeah, so I think it's a good deal. It wasn't a terrible deal with the laptop in the end. I mean, the trim and stuff is falling apart. It's been banged up in this bag. The fucking strap will sometimes come loose. Happened once or twice. It was in the bag, in that laptop bag, and fell on the ground. That's why the trim is falling off. It's got some cracks in the trim and stuff. The touchpad is slightly broken because the strap came loose, and the bag fell on the ground at least two or three times. And so it's they keep pointing on the back at the you see a lot of these ones walking around here pointing at the strap on the bags if they got any bags. And don't worry about it, Holmes. I'm gonna hook you up properly this time. I told you. We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna go through the whole NBA roster because I heard there's a lot of Marxists in there. We're gonna go through the rappers again, and we're gonna make sure that you get hooked up properly and you get taken care of. Yeah, if you're involved and you're holding this bag against me, we're gonna go through the whole NBA roster again, all of it. We're gonna go through the whole rapper roster, all of it, and we're gonna hook you up properly this time. If it is one of you. Understand? Because they keep pointing. This side does this. This side over here does this. London does this. Like, oh yeah, is this what's her name? Lizzo person over here. Is this Lizzo person? Is this rapper over here? Well, don't worry about it. We're going to look at all of them, the entire NBA roster plus the rapper roster, and we're going to find out who it is. Yeah, give me some time. It takes a little bit of time. Yeah, I mean, I got to look at the fucking download the images, crop them up, and match them up and shit. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Don't worry about it. We're going to go through the entire NBA roster. We're going to match them up with Hollywood. The whole roster. All of it. If you are Churchill and you're in the NBA, you're in luck. If you are Churchill and you're in the NBA right now, you're going to be in luck. Chances are, 100% chance, you're going to be in those gifts. Don't worry about it. Like I said, we got it. Yeah. cars over here anymore. I don't know what the hell. They don't come over. There's not that many now. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Microsoft store and do an upload for 12. I'm gonna do an update for 12 real quick. And we got a Hendrix. It's a blank card. What the hell? I'll go to sleep a little bit. Up and get some chocolate. Shoulder got fucked up, I don't know why. Probably slept on it or something, and this fucking radioactive shit really fucked it up. And more fucking problems. I got no fucking problems to deal with. I can hardly fit it here, my fucking shoulder hurts. Oh. Damn, time flew, didn't it? Fucking 12:26 already. Can't even stay awake. I thought it was going to be 11:30. It's fucking 12:30. Today's Sunday, isn't it? We gotta wait until 4. Let's go ahead and go down here. So there is a USB service now. There is a way to find out what these services do and what service call you're going to use and the numbers and so on. And it is on, it is on the Android source, Android Google website. There they tell you the service calls. It depends on the version of Android that you have. So that's what's going to tell you. Because what I'm doing is kind of random. But there is a way to find out which service call you're going to use for what service. So it's on the Android source website, Android developer source website. I've got to look at the USB to see if there's anything that I can do to increase the voltage. Because it should be a way to do that because they changed it. So I said I got a slight drop of voltage. 4.366 versus 4.388. It's a little bit of a drop. And I need to find out what service call, if they did, what service call they did to drop that voltage down. Because they did something. That's a lot of water time. It's like a gallon a minute. A gallon every 10 seconds. I think you do it with a service call too to put out that board. It's got to be some kind of command, USB command, to clear out the board of any settings or something. Yeah, it's USB. They got different power. They got a power service, USB service. That's what it's got to be. It's got to be somewhere in there. Probably the USB service where you can issue a service call to reset the board. Yeah, reset the USB. I mean, there is a function. It said just reset functions. That sets everything to charging. But we need to find out, is there a way to increase the voltage? Yeah. What did they do? They dropped the voltage down. Even though it doesn't make any difference, it still charges just as fast. But I want to know what they did to drop the voltage down. I want to find out. Yeah. So then I'm going to have to look at that service call for USB and look at all the service calls that you can do. For what features, for what options. It's on the Google website. I got to look it up and find out. Oh my head. Got another 3 hours. Trickery with blanking out the sim. He might. I'm fucking tired. I even got an ulcer in my mouth from where the fuck I ate. nice. Like, look at the back. Not nice. Clean backpack without fucking tearing, you know. It's more classy. Fuck, we're gonna be walking around here with tears in our clothes, and our backpacks. What a shame. So, on the No Temp Plus, I had downloaded some firmware, like I said, even the fucking video. I said they did something to the No Temp Plus and the A70. Either the camera modules have some special firmware, the microphone, the USB board, who knows what they did. But the No 10 Plus and the A70, both of them had problems recording a video. No, the A70 didn't take pictures because it was taking pictures of the buildings and zooming in. Randomly would take pictures of the walls and stuff. And the No 10 Plus was recording a video, and he looked like a broken VHS tape or something. Remember the video, the first video, one of the first videos that I shot with the No 10 Plus. The video looked like, and the audio too was, everything was scrambled. The audio was scrambled, the video was scrambled, everything was like jargon. It looked like a big mess, you know, like a broken VHS tape. So what I think these sellers do is that they, because they, even though it's Korean brand, you know, the fact that it's Korean has nothing to do with it. Because they got the hookup on the firmware, they flash firmware to these modules. That's why it was taking pictures of the walls and shit. And it was the A70 was doing it, and then the No 10 Plus was recording video and the audio that was scrambled. And it had nothing to do with the video recording software. It was the firmware and the cameras that was doing this. Yeah, because they loaded custom firmware into the camera modules, and it was taking pictures of the fucking buildings. The A70 was doing this. The No 10 Plus was recording video that was scrambled and audio that was scrambled. Yeah. The No 10 Plus was doing that. That's because they have access to the firmware. It doesn't matter if it's Korean. It's no fucking difference to anyone. If it's Korean, it's just a Google phone like any other fucking phone with a different branding on it. That's all it is. Like I said, the No 10 Plus was serious work. We did some serious work on the No 10 Plus to change the firmware in the camera array. Because everything was scrambled. You know, it was scrambling audio, scrambling video, everything was scrambled. So, you know, they got the jump on the firmware, and they flashed custom firmware to the modules that are on the phone. Yeah? That's what you're dealing with. That's what they did to the A50. The A50 is the same way. It says the sensor array has a firmware update. There's no sensor firmware update on the array. They put something in there. They found a way to stick something in there into the sensor array firmware to disable USB, to neuter USB connections. That's what it constantly says. The sensor array has got a firmware update. Apply the firmware update. There's nothing in there. You know, it doesn't update. You can click on update and it doesn't update. It doesn't do anything. And what they do is that they find these places to hide code, to modify code, like camera arrays, sensor array. And all of a sudden the phone is scrambling video and audio, and it's scrambling the USB doesn't work anymore or something, or it's you know, the A70 was taking pictures of the walls everywhere. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter, you know, it's just at the end of the day it's a Google phone with a different branding. And they got just as much control over Samsung as they do over Google. It makes no difference. Even Google itself is, you know, has a Samsung screen. Yeah, it's the Google Pixel has a Samsung screen. The Apple 14 has a Samsung screen. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's just, you know, they're all Google phones, more or less, with the exception of Apple, with a different branding. Even the Chinese ones. Just Google phones with a different branding, except that it's made in China by a Chinese-based company with some of the Chinese phones. It's just a Google phone with different branding every time. Most of the time, they even have a screen from Samsung. Even the Apple has one. So that's what they did. You know, they on the Note 10 Plus, it was scrambling video and audio. It was just a bunch of jargon. You know, it was doing this occasionally, not all the time. And the A70 was taking pictures of the walls because I was zooming in, or not zooming in. It would zoom in for me sometimes and take pictures of the walls. You know, so it's like I said, they got the leg up on the firmware. Doesn't matter what brand it is. And they flash custom firmware to the modules. They flash custom firmware to the modules. That's why I got that voltage drop on the USB board on the A50. It's stuck at 4.366 instead of 4.388. Because they flash something custom, yeah? Something that is local firmware to that USB board. Making a movie with this camper. Someone's got a poison cookie. So despite what they say about Chinese phones or Hawaii equipment or, you know, Samsung is fucking them in the ass with the fucking GIF images or whatever, they know they know these phones inside and out because they are Google phones. It doesn't matter what brand it is. Oh, they know these phones inside and out because they are Google phones. It doesn't matter if it's a Chinese phone or a Korean phone or whatever. Understand? It's all the same. Let's see, I got some ketchup. They weren't expecting me to come this way, so ketchup for my meal. Yeah, some ketchup for my meal. So what they did on the Note 10 Plus and even the A7 is that they opened up the phone. They flashed some custom stuff to that board. The camera array, both the A70 and the Note 10 Plus had it. So. That's why I was taking pictures of the walls. And the Note 10 Plus was scrambling the video and the audio. They opened up the phones, just like they did the A50 that I have now. And they flashed something to the modules, individual modules on the phone. If it's the camera array or the USB board, etc., etc., etc. Now on some phones they can't do this. On the A50 they haven't done this yet. I'm pretty sure they're working on it. In a way to defeat the hardware. In a way to defeat the hardware that from its intended purpose. To reverse engineer it to break it. That's which is what they did on the A50. They found a way to do it. On some phones you can't really disable USB in that kind of way. This one, this A52, seems to be more durable from that standpoint. Right? Whereas the A50 has a weakness, it's some kind of exploit. So let's go ahead and go down here and see what they bring for us. They bring something good. Some good champagne. Yeah, it's some kind of infection, I guess. It doesn't look dirty, but it's got pressure inside the ear. A lot of it. That's right, guys. Adar has come to pass. Adar has come to pass. The time of Adar is at an end. And your father, Adar, will not survive this. Unless Whitey fucks up again. Unless Whitey fucks up again, Adar will not survive this. Sadly, your father will not survive this, guys. It's very sad, yeah. Very, very sad that your father, Adar, will not be surviving this. You know? What can we do? You know, what more can we say? What more can we do? Unless Whitey fucks up again and they get some extra help from I don't know, Satan or something. Adar will not be surviving this one. Adar will not survive this, unfortunately, guys. Unless they get help from someone. Unless someone wants to sacrifice themselves for some extra help, to give them a helping hand. Adar is... the time of Adar is coming to an end. Oh, man. Is the station still closed? Oh, wow, it's open. Yeah, let's go visit. Oh my gosh. I thought we were going to die without the station, right? Yeah, there seems to be some kind of infection on the right side. It's leaking. Something is leaking in there. Something's leaking on the right side, in my right ear. And there is pressure in there that built up. See, it's a clear liquid. It's not earwax. Is earwax supposed to be clear? I mean, I guess it comes out clear. It just seems like it's not earwax, it's something else. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's some kind of pressure buildup in there. There's a heat going on. There's something like that. It's cool this morning. Plug them on down there. Just can see if it charges. See if I can plug it a little bit. Charges. I just don't understand why it's warm. It's a little bit warm, a tad bit warm for having walked outside. It charges. It's okay. It's okay, guys. Plug and replug the SIM card, see what it does. It's okay. It's not. It's a little bit warm. That's all I like to see if it charges. I have to re-upload all the GIFs. Spread them between 2 accounts. Should be fine. hanged around 100 before topping off for at least 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour. Like I said, they did something to the firmware, they did something to the phone, I don't know. Something is up, something is weird. Looks good, man. What a patch job. I am proud of myself. Look at how clean that is, yeah? Fucking excellent patch job on this job. Look at that. I did it myself with a needle and thread. Fucking Gandalf over here fixed the bad, huh? Look at that. Sharp looking, no? That's not a bad patch at all. What a great fucking patch job that was, huh? Yeah, very nice. Very nice.